that big commotion behind me is the new Nike launch.
Imagine standing outside Nike Fort in Bonifacio Global City on July 21, 2025. You've been waiting for hours. Your phone is open to stopwatch because today isn't just another product launch. It's the release of a simple white t-shirt featuring a tiny embroidered Sampaguita flower, a design inspired by 20-year-old Filipino tennis sensation Alex Eala. The countdown begins. 3, 2, 1. The doors swing open. Within moments, the crowd surges forward. Before you can even finish calling your sister back home in Cebu, every single shirt is gone. Some fans claim the online stock disappeared in less than a minute. Nike Philippines even described it as selling out in just 60 seconds. Those lucky enough to shop inside Nike Fort said the shelves were empty in around 10 minutes. Whether it was 1 minute or 10, one thing became crystal clear. Nike had completely underestimated the power of Alex Eala's fanbase. Even Alex herself admitted she never expected the response. That was actually a surprise for me. The message behind it was beautiful, and I loved wearing my little flower. And believe it or not, this story is only getting started, because the next chapter unfolds on the legendary grass courts of Wimbledon. But before we get there, we have to understand why one embroidered flower caused thousands of fans to race for a t-shirt. Let's rewind 1 week. Alex Eala had just completed the biggest grass court run of her career in Berlin. She stunned world number 2 Elena Rybakina before defeating another top 5 opponent in the same incredible tournament. Only days later came another historic announcement. Wimbledon officially named Alex Eala the number 29 seed. For the first time ever, a Filipina had earned a seeded position at a Grand Slam. Throughout that unforgettable run, Alex wore Nike. And suddenly, every Filipino around the world wanted to wear the same symbol she carried onto tennis' biggest stage. Now let's rewind even further to the original launch. Nike Philippines partnered with Manila-based artist Georgina Camu to create a special capsule collection called Nike by You in full bloom. The centerpiece was the Sampaguita Moment t-shirt. Its inspiration came from something incredibly personal. Before Alex stepped onto center court at Wimbledon to face defending champion Barbara Krejcikova, Nike handcrafted a one-of-a-kind Sampaguita hair tie especially for her. Nike later confirmed that hair tie would never be sold. Only one exists. As Alex walked onto one of the most famous courts in sports, she wasn't just representing herself. She carried an entire nation in her hair. The t-shirt became the closest fans could get to sharing that historic moment. But then came the problem. Instead of launching nationwide, Nike released the collection through just one physical location, Nike Fort in Bonifacio Global City. Online buyers had only one option: park access. That meant a country of more than 115 million people, plus millions of Filipinos living and working abroad, were all competing for an extremely limited release. This wasn't about Nike being unfair. It was about Nike misjudging just how massive Alex Eala's popularity had become. Ironically, everything leading up to the launch should have warned them. Rather than hiring an international design team, Nike entrusted the project to Filipina artist Georgina Camu, who built the collection around the Sampaguita, the Philippines' national flower. It wasn't simply sports merchandise. It was a celebration of Filipino identity, designed by a Filipina for the country's brightest tennis star. Demand was inevitable, then reality arrived. July 21, the online release disappeared in what Nike itself called 60 seconds. Inside Nike Fort, the collection sold out in roughly 10 minutes. Every restock on park access vanished just as quickly, and almost immediately, resellers flooded online marketplaces. Listings appeared at several times the original retail price. A t-shirt celebrating a player who had only recently entered the world's top 60 was suddenly creating the kind of resale frenzy usually reserved for limited edition Air Jordans. That almost never happens in tennis. Coco Gauff helped boost New Balance. Naomi Osaka transformed Nike's tennis business. Serena Williams became one of the biggest names in sports marketing history. But all of them reached Grand Slam finals or won major titles before their signature merchandise achieved global demand. Alex Eala hadn't played a Grand Slam final. She wasn't even inside the world's top 50 when the collection launched. Yet her shirt disappeared faster than many products associated with established champions. And that's when something became impossible to ignore. For years, Filipino fans insisted Alex Eala wasn't just a rising tennis player. They believed she was already becoming a global commercial phenomenon. Many outsiders dismissed that enthusiasm as national pride. Now the numbers were speaking for themselves. Nike's own sales proved those fans had been right all along, and the momentum only continued to grow. Soon after, Vogue Philippines featured Alex Eala on its August 2025 cover. Interest exploded once again. Then Front Office Sports highlighted another remarkable milestone, reporting that Alex was already drawing massive crowds before her appearance at the 2026 Indian Wells tournament. What started with a single embroidered Sampaguita flower had become something much bigger. It had become the symbol of an athlete inspiring an entire nation, and a brand discovering in real time just how powerful that movement had become. But the momentum didn't stop there. Demand exploded once again. Then came Berlin. Alex Eala stunned Elena Rybakina, defeated Elena Svitolina, and powered her way into the semifinals of a WTA 500 event. With every victory, interest in her story, and everything connected to her reached another level. Nearly a full year after the original Sampaguita collection launched, Filipino fans are still flooding social media with one simple request: Nike, please restock it. Every week, reels and posts continue tagging Nike Philippines, asking for a worldwide release that has never arrived. And then there's one statistic that changes the entire conversation. People Asia reported that Alex Eala's endorsement deal with Nike is worth around $2 million per year. Nike has never publicly confirmed that figure, but even if it's only close to accurate, it suggests something important. The limited release wasn't about lacking the budget. It was about underestimating the opportunity. Now let's talk about the artist behind the collection. Georgina Camus wasn't just another freelance designer. She was personally selected by Nike Philippines to transform Alex's one-of-a-kind Sampaguita hair tie into a collection that millions of Filipinos could proudly wear. Her work didn't stay inside the Philippines. It quickly caught the attention of the international tennis and fashion world. Appearing across outlets like Vogue Philippines, Sports Illustrated Serve, and Tennis.com. When Camus introduced the collection on Instagram, she wrote something that perfectly captured her vision. This custom tee is a symbol of discipline, courage, and full-circle growth, designed to inspire the next generation to bloom in their own time. Think about those words for a second. She designed it to inspire the next generation, yet that same generation can barely buy it. Instead of being worn by young Filipino fans across the country, many of the shirts ended up on resale marketplaces at 2 or 3 times the original price. The design succeeded, the cultural message resonated, but the distribution failed to match the moment. And that's where this story becomes much bigger than the Philippines. It becomes a lesson for the entire global sports apparel industry. Every marketing executive watching this launch received free market research. Southeast Asia isn't an emerging tennis market anymore. It's already here, it's passionate, it's engaged, and it's ready to spend. Nike expected demand. What they got was a buying frenzy that emptied inventory in minutes. Now the calendar moves forward. Wimbledon 2026 is only days away. Alex Eala arrives as the number 29 seed, the first Filipina ever to enter a Grand Slam as a seeded player. Millions around the world will watch her compete on tennis' biggest stage while wearing Nike. After Wimbledon comes the North American hard-court season, Montreal, Cincinnati, then the US Open in New York, home to one of the largest Filipino-American communities anywhere in the world. That's 3 global tournaments, 3 worldwide television audiences, and 3 opportunities for Nike to either repeat the same mistake or finally meet the demand they've spent an entire year creating. Here's a prediction. If Nike launches a global restock of the Sampaguita collection before the opening day of Wimbledon, the website won't stay online for very long. Not because fans are acting irrationally, because Nike has spent the past year teaching everyone to expect scarcity. Every sold-out launch, every missed restock, every reseller listing, all of it has only increased anticipation. Of course, no great sports story is complete without setbacks. After her remarkable wins over Rybakina and Svitolina, Alex's run ended in the Berlin semifinals. Shortly afterward, Tennis Head published an article suggesting she should take a well-earned break before Wimbledon, but Alex has always viewed defeat differently. Months earlier, during her Vogue Philippines cover interview, she explained her mindset perfectly. Tennis is such a beautiful sport because it keeps you grounded. You learn how to lose because in tennis, you lose almost every week. She lost on Saturday. Just days later, history was made. Wimbledon officially announced its seeds. Alex Eala became the first Filipina ever to earn a seeded position at a Grand Slam, and suddenly, one tournament loss became just another chapter in a much bigger story. Now picture everything one last time. A 20-year-old Filipina walks onto center court wearing a one-of-a-kind handmade Sampaguita flower in her hair. A Manila artist transforms that symbol into a t-shirt. Fans empty an entire store in just 10 minutes. Nike itself says the online release disappears in only 60 seconds. Within days, resale listings are everywhere. Nearly a year later, the shirt remains almost impossible to find. At this point, Alex Eala is no longer just one of the brightest young stars in tennis. She has become a global brand, a cultural movement, a market all by herself, and Nike learned one unforgettable lesson. Sometimes, a single flower can move more merchandise in 10 minutes than many established stars sell in an entire season. So now we want to hear from you. If Nike finally launches the Sampaguita collection worldwide before Wimbledon 2026, will the website survive? Or will demand break the internet once again? Tell us in the comments where you're watching from and how quickly you'd place your order. If you've been refreshing pages since the original July 2025 launch, if you're one of the Filipino fans in Dubai, Toronto, Los Angeles, Sydney, London, or anywhere else around the world waiting for another chance, this channel is made for you. Because every Alex Eala milestone feels like a victory shared by millions. Subscribe now, because this journey is far from over. The next chapter begins on the legendary grass courts of SW19.